Good evening and welcome to the edition of The List on UWW-TV. I'm Ryan Hogue alongside Colin Reynolds. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. At number 5, the WIAC Conference has been heating up in baseball as a plethora of conference games have been played. Whitewater leads the pack with a dazzling 13-1 conference record, while Lacrosse and Stevens Point are tied for second at 7-3 apiece. Can Whitewater keep up their strong start, or do you see others creating chaos in the WIAC? What do you think about this? I mean, we're leading by quite a big margin right now, I'd say.
Yeah, Ryan. I mean, Whitewater's been absolutely dominating in the WIAC so far. I'd be surprised to see another team get close. I mean, 23-4, 13-1 in conference play. They are first among batting averages in the WIAC with a 370 batting average. Lacrosse is second at a 331, so a pretty sizable gap for Whitewater there. And then if you look at team ERAs, Whitewater's first with 3.44, and then second is Stevens Point with a 4.92. So they've just been absolutely dominant pitching and batting so far for Whitewater. Eli Frank leads the WIAC for average with a 4.54 average. So just great play from Whitewater overall. They had that series versus Eau Claire where they swept them, putting up some impressive runs. Their only loss in conference play has been to Oshkosh, but they won that series 3-1 overall. They have a series coming up against Lacrosse, so that's definitely going to be some good competition, as Lacrosse has also been playing good baseball. So that'll be maybe the first real test in the WIAC so far for Whitewater. But, I mean, like I said, just absolutely dominant so far, so let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty good margin on this lead right now, and let's keep it going. But let's get to our next story. The Masters, number 4, the much anticipated event has come and gone once again. The Masters, held annually at Augusta, took place this past weekend with Scotty Scheffler coming away with the coveted gold jacket once again. He shot 11 under par, 4 better than second place, with names like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson no longer being the faces of the sport. Could a guy like Scheffler fill that void? I mean, what do you think? I mean, are these guys' careers done?
Yeah, I mean, Scotty Scheffler absolutely is the face of golf right now. I mean, 2 wins in the last 3 years. I mean, he had an absolutely amazing back nine to kind of get ahead of the pack late in the tournament, and some other familiar names didn't really perform too well, like Phil Mickelson, and just some other guys who have been really dominant, didn't really do too great this year. And then looking at Tiger Woods, I mean, he finished dead last, just a underperforming performance for Tiger Woods in this Masters. So speculations about whether or not he should hang it up. Personally, I think he should. I mean, he's talked about wanting to keep golfing in the other 3 major tournaments in golf. But I don't see any results changing for Tiger. I mean, unless he can turn back the clock significantly, I think his career is pretty much wrapped.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see, of course, a legend like Tiger Woods looking like he should probably be hanging up the jacket sooner than later. Of course, now we look at it, more Scotty sliders will be handed out for next year's dinner, it looks like, of course. I also do absolutely agree that Scotty Scheffler, I think, is the new face of golf. I mean, when you're winning like this, it only makes sense. But let's move on to our next story here. At number 3, with another NBA season now in the books, NBA awards are right around the corner, with plenty of awards such as MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year. Who do you think is going to be taking away these awards? Who do you see taking away some hardware here? We got some good candidates up here for all these awards. I mean, what do you think?
So the MVP has been pretty close all year. There hasn't been an outright winner like we've seen in the past with years ago. Giannis was the outright winner. And it was pretty obvious. Same thing with Jokic a couple years ago, and then Steph Curry all the way back in 2016. But this year it's been a lot closer. Personally, I think Luka Doncic should be a runaway winner for this award. I mean, he's averaging 34 points and near a triple-double, 9.2 rebounds and 9.8 assists. The only thing hurting him is that his team is the 5th seed. But the end of the season super strong, and I know he has Kyrie Irving helping him out there, but he's so valuable to this team. I mean, we haven't seen somebody more valuable since maybe LeBron in the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers era. He's been absolutely dominating. Looking at the Defensive Player of the Year awards, this award should be Victor Wembanyama's award. He's not going to get it because he's a rookie. It's probably going to go to Rudy Gobert, who has been playing great defense, averaging over 2 blocks a game. But Victor Wembanyama leading the league in blocks as a rookie, that's pretty insane. And then speaking of Victor Wembanyama, look at the Rookie of the Year. He's running away with that award. I mean, he's averaging a 21-point double-double while leading the league in blocks. He's come close to a quadruple-double already twice. He's got that 5x5 game already in his books. Just crazy stats for a rookie. He's going to be great. That's his award. Sixth Man of the Year, that's going to be a tight race between Malik Monk and Naz Reid, who have both been contributing to winning basketball teams. And then for Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault for the Thunder. I mean, he's leading one of the youngest teams in the league to a first seed in the West, so I think he's absolutely going to run away with that award.
Great takes, Colin. Thank you. We've got more coming up on the list, including a recap of the NBA season and a look at the play-in tournament. We'll be right back.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories. Even the night before, I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it at the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW-TV.
Here at UW Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on! That's it anyways. Oh, she got that off. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes! Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Welcome back to the list on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown to this week's top sports stories. At number 2, the NBA regular season has come to a close. Some teams look forward to the playoffs to see how far they can go, while others are left to wonder what went wrong with the season. So, Colin, in your opinion, what were some surprising teams from this year, and what were some disappointing ones? What do you think?
Two teams that surprised me in a really good way were the Thunder and the Magic. I mean, almost the same team on two opposite conferences, two super young teams who made the playoffs. The Thunder, the 1 seed, the Magic, 5 seed, led by two young guys in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder and Paolo Banchero for the Magic. And then for Boston, they absolutely ran away with the first seed in the East. I mean, 2 months into the season, it was already a lockdown that they were going to get first. That was absolutely crazy to see. They had over a 14-game lead on the second seed in the East. And then looking at the Sacramento Kings on the West, after a 3-seed performance last year, they fall down to the 9 seed, and later tonight they will be hosting the 9-10 play-in matchup for the Golden State Warriors. Winning that game will give them a chance to play against the Pelicans. So their season's still alive, but definitely some not great basketball compared to what they expected. Same thing with the Phoenix Suns. I mean, when you have Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, you're going to be expected to do big things. They make the playoffs, but barely. and anything can happen in the playoffs, but kind of an underwhelming season there for the Suns.
Yeah, I understand what you mean there. I would like to talk about the Bucks real quick. I mean, I feel like the Bucks have been very underwhelming as well, honestly. I mean, they have two of six when it comes to wins in the month of April right now. Not good at all, and a very low momentum feeling going into the playoffs, I'd say. I mean, I think they're going to be a first-round exit, in my opinion. But let's get to our number one story of the week. At number one spot of the week, the NBA playoffs are officially underway. The play-in tournament begins tonight in the Western Conference with the 8-seed Lakers taking on the 7-seed Pelicans and the 9-seed Kings facing the 10-seed Warriors. Who do you see advancing, and do you see any of these teams making a deep run?
So right before we started filming today, that Lakers-Pelicans game wrapped up. The Lakers took home a close W. They were leading most of the game, but in the fourth quarter, Zion Williamson absolutely went off. He had over 40 points, I believe, but it wasn't enough to get the W. Pelicans take the L. The Lakers, winning that game, they will go on to face the 2-seeded Nuggets in a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, where the Nuggets swept the Lakers, but each game was a close game, so definitely can go either way. Both teams have been playing great basketball. And the Pelicans, they'll go on to play the winner of the Kings-Warriors game that is going on right now. That'll be interesting to see. Kings, a little bit of a slump to end the season, but the Warriors got hot to end the season. Over on the East, you got the 76ers versus the Heat in the 7-8 game. 76ers, a team that in the beginning of the season didn't think they would find themselves here. They were a top 5 team in the East a couple months ago before Embiid went down. But with Embiid back, they're over 4.5-point favorites in this game versus the Heat. But once it gets to the postseason, we know that Jimmy Butler can lead the Heat to insane heights. They've made the finals 2 out of the last 4 years, so that's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Whereas for the 9-10 matchup in the East, you have the Bulls versus the Hawks, 2 under 500 teams, but 2 teams that can also turn it up in the postseason. Going to be a great one to see how DeMar DeRozan faces off against Trae Young and to see who prevails in that matchup.
Thanks, Colin. It is a night and day difference between the East and the West right now in the NBA. And that will do it for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk about the latest sports headlines. For Colin Reynolds and the members of UWW TV, I'm Ryan Hope. See you then.